CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video. LeBron James has been struggling to score in recent games, and it leads you to wonder, is he finally regressing? Only a month away from being 40 years old, and we're finally starting to have a serious discussion about this, maybe? It's a really small sample size. It's only 4 games, but I believe this is the longest stretch of games that he hasn't scored 20 points in a long time. I couldn't find the stats myself. I went on basketballreference.com, started scrolling through the game log. Again, here's for context the last 4 games, including last night's game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, which I managed to catch the end of the 4th quarter of that game. And LeBron did look a bit slow in that one compared to what we're used to seeing from him, even in his older age over the last couple seasons. Obviously, he's being more of a facilitator late in his career, which is not surprising, but he still seems a bit rusty as far as the scoring goes. And you can see, in this most latest game here, 0 of 4 from 3, less than 40% from the field. It's not the best look. Obviously, he's still putting up great stats, but as far as, some of the best scoring stats in the league, obviously nowhere close. We look at that plus-2. My goodness, -30 and a 27-point loss to Phoenix. We got a -25 and a 25-point loss to Denver. If we go ahead and start looking, and here's the current season's game log. Again, I just started skimming through these. I was curious to see if he's ever had a stretch of games where he's not scored 20 points in any of the games. Obviously, he's got a few games like that here or there. So again, this is this current season. He had one real stinker where he put up 11 points, 3 of 14 from the field against Phoenix. If we look at last season, the 2023-2024 log here, and just start scrolling through the regular season, I mean, again, you see a few games here where he's just under 20 points. But again, it's not like it's stretches of 4 games where he's not able to reach that mark. And so then I started going back to his rookie season, right? His rookie season, 2003-2004. This is where we do see a number of games where he was not putting up 20 points per game. Like right here, he's got a couple of 14-point games. He's got a 9-point game. Just keep scrolling. Here's a stretch of 3 games where he was under 20. But again, he was a rookie. Do I need to say any more? He was a rookie. Okay, we go to his second season, 2004-2005, looking even better than his rookie season, and I'm not even seeing that many games where in the points column here where he's scoring under 20. In fact, most of these games you can see he's in the 30s. So it just leads you to believe perhaps LeBron is finally regressing. I feel like this is a conversation or a topic that comes up every so often, and it's been coming up for the past 8 years. I mean, it just never stops. I don't know. I feel like this is just a little hiccup, and he's going to get right back to it. But it is interesting to see the trends here. If we look at the per game stats over his career, the assist numbers are up. It's not the only time he's had 9+ assists per game. We see in 2018-2019 and the 2019-2020 season, his first 2 years with the Lakers, 2017-2018 and 2019-2020. The last year at the Cavs and the second year at the Lakers, he had that 9+ assist range. So it's not the first time. However, his points per game total, again, early in the season, small sample size. We're about 18 games in. He has not had this few points per game on average since his rookie season. So again, it just kind of goes back to asking the question, is he finally on the decline a bit here? And I hope that's not the case, but I also wouldn't be surprised if that's the case because he's almost 40 years old. Who plays for this long at that high of a level? And that's why a lot of people have LeBron James as their MVP, because of that longevity and because of that career success, winning multiple championships, making it to the finals 8 years in a row in the East. So who knows, right? I think it's still way too early to make the call to say that, hey, LeBron's on the decline. But the last few games definitely haven't been pretty. Side note, the Lakers are now out of contention for making the single elimination bracket for the NBA Cup. Not that anyone cared, but they are the defending NBA Cup champions. Got to bring that up. But in all seriousness, we'll have to see. We'll have to watch out next few games. We might be talking about this again in a week or two. Or it might be a situation like the beginning of the season. I brought up Russell Westbrook struggling and that this could perhaps be his last season. And then all of a sudden he starts having some incredible performances paired with Jokic on the Nuggets. So perhaps this is a little hiccup in the stretch of the season, in the beginning here, first quarter of the season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I think it's just a little hiccup, personally. I think he'll get right back up to around 25 points per game, if not more. Even though he is playing more of a facilitating role, this team, unfortunately, kind of needs him to score a bit still. It's kind of sad to say that a team's relying on a 40-year-old to carry them. Obviously, I think Anthony Davis is probably the best player on this team at the current moment, or at least the most vital to this team's success, even more so than LeBron, I would say, at this point. Even though LeBron obviously has some incredible contributions here, Anthony Davis's defense, in the post, around the rim, it's incredibly crucial to this team's success, and the Lakers don't really have a lot of depth, at the big position, whereas they have other guys that can facilitate, maybe not at LeBron's level, but they can facilitate. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And before we end the video, of course, we gotta do the predictions for today's NBA games. So if you're new to the channel, every day we do some predictions as far as who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. I make the predictions. I keep a record of them here in this spreadsheet. And we compare to the betting favorite from FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm not promoting or encouraging you to use FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm not partnered or affiliated with any sports betting, sports gambling site. If you're going to do any sports betting or sports gambling, do it responsibly. I'm just sharing my opinion. This is not financial advice, betting advice. I'm just doing it for fun, and this seems like the best way to compare. And right now, we are pretty close, neck and neck with FanDuel. We were 11 games back, and we've been inching our way closer and closer as the days go on. So now we're down only 2 games. We managed to get one up on the betting odds yesterday. I predicted the Portland Trail Blazers would win at home against the Kings because the Kings have been struggling, and sure enough, there's another win right there for the Blazers. So today we got 5 NBA games. We have the Hawks and the Hornets. Hornets at home. Hawks have been kind of struggling too if we go ahead and look at the Eastern Conference standings here. Obviously, the Hornets have the worst record. But if you look at the last 10, I guess Hornets have it worse. But I was going to say, I guess I'm biased just because I am a Dallas Mavericks fan and watching the Mavs and the Hawks play. I felt like the Hawks kind of just threw in the towel way too early. It looked like they had no heart, no fight. So that's kind of why I have this impression that the Hawks are not doing so hot. But just by looking at that, and they're playing the Hornets. Even though this is in Charlotte, we're going to go ahead and give this one to the Hawks. Sixers and Pistons. Obviously, the Sixers, hit a gold mine drafting Jared McCain, but they're having some other issues with their star players, and they're still sitting towards the bottom of the Eastern Conference with 2 wins and 8 losses in their last 10 games. So, do I think they could take down the Detroit Pistons? Potentially. Detroit's probably favored in this one if I had to guess, but we're going to pick the Sixers to win this one on the road. Wizards and Bucks, we'll take the Bucks at home. Warriors and Suns, I kind of want to take... Is Curry still out? That's the big what if. You know what? Either way, we'll go ahead and take the Suns at home. Mavs, Jazz, we're going to take the Mavs. Although last time the Mavs played in Utah a couple weeks ago, they did end up losing by 2. But I think they'll get them back this time. If we look at the odds now, Atlanta favored on the road, Detroit favored at home, but we are picking Philadelphia. Milwaukee favored at home, Phoenix favored at home, and Dallas favored on the road. Let me know what teams you think will win in the comments. And click one of the videos on your screen right now for some more NBA discussion.